What's going on? Welcome to another day of mobility. Today we're diving into a little hips and trunk. Let's start by finding a nice comfy spot, lying on your mat, taking some time to just relax your headspace. Take a few natural breaths, just observing the breath. Noticing the sensation, the depth, the pacing. And allowing yourself to find that pace and depth of breath that helps you find calm. Just letting go of any stress that might be lingering. On your next exhale, just imagine breathing out any stress, any tension around those hips or the trunk. And just getting ready to enjoy some me time. Being conscious of directing that air deep, feeling that belly rise on the inhale, and directing the air through the nose if you can. Let's take one more breath here. As you let go of that breath, let's grab a lacrosse ball and we'll start our attention on the left IT band. And anytime we say we're working the IT band, it's really in quotes, really just a generalized area we use for the outer quad, the outer thigh. But we are going to stretch across the entire length of the IT band and find where you're carrying tension. And wherever you're carrying tension in that outer thigh area, let that be your focus for today. Experiment a little bit with how you're angling on that lacrosse ball to apply that tension. And we want to find just enough tension to help that tissue settle down, but not so much that your other muscles are tensing up or we're getting into pain. Find that right stimulus that helps you stay relaxed, helps you stay focused on your breath and relaxing that target tissue. And let's take one more good breath here. A good diaphragmatic breath. Feeling that belly expand. We'll sigh out that breath and shift our attention to the left glute. So we'll go face up on your lacrosse ball and start with some searching. If you know your trouble spots, feel free to start there. Just try not to find a habit of finding the same spot every time. We always want to do a bit of searching. Those tight spots can shift and change as we peel the onion of your mobility. And whatever feels like it needs attention today, settle in, find the right angle to tackle it, find the right pressure. And what can be useful, especially as we work on the glutes, is moving your hips into a position you tend to struggle with. And for a lot of us, depth in the squat can be problematic. So if you think about pulling your knee in towards your chest, that'll help you free up that position by addressing that muscle in the position of restriction. And just pay attention to how the body's responding. And let's take one more breath here. And we'll move into the right side, starting with that IT band. Pan along the length of that IT band. And that runs all the way from near the top of your hip, all the way down to below your knee. So anywhere along that length. And again, it's really not necessarily the IT band, it's just the general area. So anything that needs attention along the right side of that right leg. Just do your search. Find that target spot. Find that target stimulus. Focus back on your breathing. Doing your best to maintain that pacing of breath that helps you stay nice and chill. Keeping that mind relaxed so we can help keep that body relaxed. And if you find counting your breaths helpful, that is totally fair game. Just keep your breath count at a manageable pace that helps you stay relaxed. And let's take one more good, long, slow, relaxing breath in. Slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition to the right glute. So again, face up on that lacrosse ball. Panning through the surface of that whole muscle. The glute is a big, powerful muscle. A lot of different spots can carry tension. And the angle we apply that tension can really change the stimulus. So just do some experimenting. What we're feeling for is pressure release. Trying to avoid that pain. And once you've settled into that right amount of pressure, settle back to your breath. Turning off any muscle we don't need, relaxing through the face, your head, your neck, your traps. And again, if you struggle in a squat position, moving that knee in towards your chest will help free up that position. The video is really here to guide you, but your body is going to be your biggest feedback for what's working specifically for you. So really be in tune with that. Focus on how your body's responding as we work our way through this. Let's take one more breath here. As you let go, we'll shift our attention to the left side of your T-spine. So we'll go face up again on your lacrosse ball. Just working on the area along your ribs. Searching for areas that might be carrying tension or trigger points. And if you're not sure, just pick a spot and work through that spot. And wherever you're at, focus on staying passive. It can be useful when we work on the T-spine to move your arm into an overhead. Again, releasing in the position of restriction. Do some experimenting with how you're addressing that tension in your posture. Doing your best to stay nice and chill. And every chance we have, relax through that face, through your feet. Any muscle we don't need to hold this posture. Challenge yourself to keep getting it more passive as you work our way through. We'll take one more breath on this side. Let go of that breath, and we'll switch to the right side. So panning through that muscle tissue that sits just to the right of your spine. And we could be on rhomboids, we could be on traps. Just do some searching. Feel out what feels right. And let that be your focus. And concentrate on remaining passive. Just allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. Focusing on your breathing. Challenging yourself to soften on the lacrosse ball. And let's take one more good, solid, diaphragmatic breath. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll transition to a left side pigeon. So stepping your left leg forward into a lunge, letting that knee sift off to the outside. Target that outer hip and glute. And just be conscious that we're finding a good position that works for the knee. We want the hip targeted here. We should have zero knee pain. If you're getting knee pain, just adjust your posture so you find the right spot. And then work on getting passive in that position. Taking your attention back to your breath. Working to soften that hip, letting that hip fall asleep in the position. And in 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through this left hip by imagine rotating your left ankle down into the floor. And let's go ahead, starting with nice, easy tension. Ramping up that tension as we go. And really give it some good force for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Imagine squeezing your ankle and your torso closer together, ramping up tension as we go. And really squeezing with some good force these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that breath. Fall back in your passive position. You may find you're deeper in the stretch. You may not. And if we're not, don't get discouraged. We'll get there. Mobility does take time, even if we're doing all the right things. Continue to express patience and trust the process. Take one more breath, and we'll switch sides. Stepping that right leg forward, dropping your knee out to the right side. Target that outer right hip and glute. Adjusting your position, it feels right for today. Again, we want to avoid pushing into pain. We just want a stretching sensation through the hip. And when we're there, focusing back on your breath. Focusing on good quality diaphragmatic breaths. And imagine the tension through the hips just seeping away as you exhale. And in about 10 seconds, we will gradually, slowly start to get active through this right side. And let's go ahead. So again, attempting to rotate your ankle into the floor, ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively attempting to rotate your right ankle off the floor towards your torso and bringing your torso closer. Closing that gap, ramping up tension as we go. Big tension to finish up. 3, 2, 1. Let's let go of that tension. Find your passive position. We're finding depth in the stretch. It's by relaxing and getting passive, not by forcing or being aggressive. Mentally going back to your happy place, turning off any muscle that we don't need in this position. Just take one more breath. We'll sigh out that breath. We'll move into some hip counter rotation. Let's position ourselves in a reverse tabletop. We'll put one hand in front of your knee, one hand behind your knee. Push into your knees Like you're trying to move them in opposite directions and resist. Hold for a 3 count and switch. And we'll keep switching back and forth. And as we work our way through this minute, getting a little more aggressive with those contractions. And if you've been doing this for a while, you can really get aggressive and really push. And we'll stick your fists in between your knees, just gently squeeze into your fists, ramping on and off, adding tension as we go. Let's try one more. And we'll relax and move into a left supine twist. So lying flat on your back. And just pull your left knee across your right side at about 90 degrees. And get a gentle stretch through the side of the hip. A little bit of a twisting stretch through the spine. If you turn your head off to the left, we're going to stretch through that whole spine. And there should be zero pain here. Getting as passive as we can, just enjoying the stretch. And in about 10 seconds, we'll gently get active through the hips. It's helpful if you put your right hand on your left knee to resist. We're going to attempt to lift the left knee back over. Let's start with nice easy tension. Press down, resist. Ramping up tension as we go. Attempting to undo that rotation, really squeezing toward the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively trying to move that knee closer to the floor, pulling deeper into that stretch. Ramping up that tension as we go. Really squeeze for the end. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Get nice and passive. Relax through your headspace. Doing your best to find calm. And letting that calm just travel through your whole body. Turning off any muscle we don't need. Let's take one more breath here. And we'll switch to the right side. So pulling that right leg across your body. Finding the right amount of stretch that your body's telling you it needs. Gently tilting your head off to the right side. Feeling a gentle stretch through the whole spine. Staying nice and passive. Just submitting to the position and allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. In 10 seconds, we'll gently get active again. And if you need to, you can place your left hand on your right knee. And we'll gently add some force to resist the stretch, slowly ramping up tension as we go. Big tension here for the last 5. Really squeezing hard. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse that. Attempting to twist further into the stretch. Slowly ramping up tension as we go. Really squeezing here for these last 5. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Get nice and passive. Submit to the stretch. Find your happy place. Turn off any muscle we don't need. Imagine trying to sleep in this position. Let's take one more breath here. You can sigh out that breath, and we will call it a day. Thanks for joining us here today. Hope your hips and trunks are feeling good. Hope you enjoyed the session. If you did, remember to subscribe and like, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.